Hey, my name is Dan Pontefract. Welcome to another episode of Management Musings. Today I want to speak to you about free agents. Yeah, free agents inside your organization. Now, a few years ago, 20 indeed, Dan Pink came out with this book, Free Agent Nation, The Future of Working for Yourself. Great insights into how you might be kind of a contractor and working around different organizations, way ahead of its time. Now, I also am not certainly talking about the NHL free agent frenzy that happens in the summer, so that's not what I'm getting at, although it's kind of cute, you must admit. I'm also not talking about the gig economy. Now, things and companies like Fiverr, who allow you to ultimately post your skills to a platform, or Upwork, and then you can kind of look at it and say, hey, I'd like to take on this job, and then that company hires you. Not talking about that either, that's all external stuff. What I'm really getting at is kind of some evolution that I'm seeing. Sony, for example, has a free agent program where after 3 or 4 years of high performance, individual team members are allowed to go pick where they want to go work next. It's quite cool. And then, of course, Fujitsu followed suit. So this notion of free agents is starting to take shape, but that's not the free agent kind of program I'm talking about here. And I'm not talking about tiger teams. Like here in the case of Apollo 13, Houston, we have a problem when the lunar module kind of blew up and they had to get their 3 astronauts back to Earth. What happened? Tiger team was assembled together across the organization of NASA because of the crisis. All kinds of people from all different walks of life worked together to try and bring these 3 men back to Earth. It's not quite that. That's not what I'm getting at. So what am I getting at? Well, it's best described by an example. From my home country, Canada, the government of Canada has created a program called Canada's Free Agents. And in fact, the person behind that is this individual, Abe Greenspoon. Now, back in 2016, he was kind of looking around at government employees and seeing that a lot of them wanted to leave. Some were disenfranchised or disenchanted or disengaged. Pick your poison. He said, look, I want to help these people because I see all of these people full of empathy and humility and courage and passion, creativity. What if they don't want to be just in their job? What if they could do something else across the government? And so basically he and this team came up with the free agent program where ultimately one individual is part of a home department. And there are about 100 free agents every year here at the Government of Canada. And they're being deployed. That's where the talent management happens, the administration of paperwork. I mean, it's federal government, right? But then over here, the host department is those that put the jobs into the system, and these free agents kind of bid on them and sort of apply to them. And the performance management is handled by the host department, and there's a plus 15% cost administration-wise in order to keep this whole program going. But it is fabulous. I mean, at the end of the day, this program allows men and women from all walks of life across the Government of Canada to be able to sort of put themselves into a system that says, hey, I'd like to take on a 2-month, a 3-month, a 6-month project, and then go do the next thing. It improves networking, obviously emotional intelligence, camaraderie, you name it. It's all about being a more purpose-driven organization and increasing that engagement level, but obviously you're keeping those skills in-house, you're not having to hire contractors, so I imagine that there's sort of an expedited productivity level when those projects are being announced and then getting done. I just think it's fab. I mean, look at these folks. There's a kind of team of free agents of the Government of Canada working together on a problem. That looks like happiness to me. Now, when I was at the TELUS organization for a while, we had a program, they still do, called kind of the graduate rotational program. New hires coming into the company, in finance, in marketing, in IT, would spend 6 months in one unit and then move on to the next one for up to 3 years. Wonderful learnings, great way of kind of getting to know the organization and different teams. So all of that, in summary, is kind of what I'm thinking that you need to be contemplating. There are tiger teams in certain organizations, sure, but do you have a free agent system that is kind of a rotational program where business units or teams can bid or put their project up for grabs, and teams of these free agents can work together, ultimately creating value good, and obviously there's a lot of purpose happening, both from the organizational perspective and of course of the employees who would feel fulfilled doing all these kind of new opportunity and projects and pieces of work. With that, my name is Dan Pontefract. I have a book that just come out, Lead, Care, Win, How to Become a Leader Who Matters. 9 key leadership lessons here that ultimately help you become a more caring type of leader. With that, thanks for watching another episode of Management Musings with me, Dan Pontefract.